Jai Hind students, I am Dr. Shravan Kumar Garg, Department of Computer Science and Engineering, Swami Vivekananda Subharati University. Today we will discuss storage classes in C. There are 4 storage classes in C and they are: number 1, automatic storage class; number 2, register storage class; number 3, static storage class; and number 4, external storage class. Actually, we have declared variables many times before reading this topic. You have used name of the variable and data type only. Means each variable must have a data type. Either data type could be an integer, or it could be a float, or it could be a double or character. But we must know that each variable belongs to any one of these 4 storage classes. Means along with data type, a variable also have a storage class. Either a variable belongs to automatic storage class, or register storage class, or static storage class, or external storage class. These storage classes tells us many things about the variable. So before explaining these classes one by one, we must know what these classes tells compiler. So storage classes tells the compiler about, compiler means C compiler, about number 1, default value of variable. Default value of variable. Actually there are 2 default values. Number 1 is garbage and number 2 is 0. It means when we declare any variable, suppose we have declared a variable of type int, then what should be its default value? So it depends on the storage class to which it belongs. Some storage classes specify that its default value is garbage, and some other storage classes specify that its default value is 0. It depends on the storage class. Number 2, space occupied. Space occupied means we know that a variable of type int occupies 2 bytes space. A variable of type float occupies 4 byte space. A variable of type char stores occupies 1 byte space. But we must also know that where that variable will occupy that space. Means actually there are 2 places where any variable can occupy space. Number 1 is memory and number 2 is CPU registers. It means a variable can occupy space either in memory, memory means RAM. A variable can occupy space either in memory or in CPU registers. Whatever space is required, if it belongs to data type char, obviously it will occupy 1 byte space. If it belongs to data type int, then it will occupy obviously 2 bytes space. But the place where it will occupy that space is either memory or CPU register. We all are aware about the RAM, but I think most of the students are not aware about the CPU registers. Actually, when I taught the topic block diagram of computer, I told you that there are several units in any computer. Number one is like input unit, second is output unit, third one is storage unit, which obviously have two parts, primary storage and secondary storage. And the another one, fourth one, I told you that there is a unit in any computer, and that unit is called central processing unit. This unit has three parts. First part is ALU, it means arithmetic logic unit. Second part is CU, control unit. Most of the student might have heard that CPU has only two parts. But let me tell you, CPU is divided into three parts. First part is ALU, second part is CU, it means control unit, and the third part is CPU registers. CPU register is called an internal memory of the computer. Internal memory means the memory which has place in CPU itself. Means this is a very small memory, and obviously if it is small then it is very fast, and it's inside the CPU. So a variable can occupy space either in memory or in CPU registers. It depends, obviously, again, it depends on the storage class or to which it belongs. Third one is scope of variable. Scope of variable means the place where we can access or we can use that variable. Scope can be local or global. Means a variable can have a local scope or a variable can have global scope. What is the meaning of local scope and global scope? That I will explain you later when we will discuss storage classes one by one. And the last thing that any storage class tells C compiler is life of the variable. Life of the variable. Like we have two default values, two places where a variable can occupy space, two types of scope. Similarly, we have two types of life. Number one is till a variable will exist till control remains in the block in which it is declared. A variable can exist till control remains in the block in which it is declared. Means the block in which we have declared any variable, the variable will exist till then only, or till the whole program ends. So there are two types of life. Means a variable can exist till control remains in the block in which it is declared, or till the whole program ends. Till the program ends. As soon as we terminate our program, the variable will cease to exist. So, like I told you earlier that we will discuss local and global scope when we will discuss storage classes one by one. Similarly, life will be discussed along with those storage classes. So let's start with automatic storage class. Let's start with automatic storage class. Number one is automatic storage class. Every class has a keyword. We know that there are 32 keywords in C, like if, else, do, while, int, float, long. Similarly, for each storage class, we have separate keyword. So, keyword for automatic storage class is auto. When we specify that a variable must belong to automatic storage class, we should write the keyword auto while declaration of variable. So, each variable that belongs to automatic storage class has the default value is as garbage. So the default value of each variable that belongs to automatic storage class is garbage. Similarly, space occupied. I told you earlier that each storage class tells us four things. Number one is default value, second one is space occupied, third one is scope, and fourth one is life. So I will discuss these, the value of these types one by one. So the default value of automatic storage class variable is garbage. This variable will occupy space in memory. Memory means RAM. Suppose we have declared a variable of type int belongs to automatic storage class, then it will occupy 2 bytes space in memory and its default value is garbage. Scope, its scope is local, means we can access the variable in the block in which it is declared. Outside the block, that variable cannot be accessed or used. Life, till the control remains in the block in which it is declared. It means as soon as we leave the block in which we have declared variable, then the life of that variable will be ends. So these are the default values. These are the values. Default value of variable belongs to automatic storage class is garbage. It will occupy space in memory. Its scope is local and its life is till the control remains in the block in which it is declared. Example. We can declare any variable belongs to automatic storage class. So let me give you an example. Suppose I have written int a. We have used this statement many times in our C programs. What is the meaning of this statement is that a is a variable of data type int. So which storage class it belongs to? As we have not written any storage class before it, or we can write the name of storage class like auto int a. So in this statement we have written that a is a variable of data type int belongs to auto storage class, and in this statement, in above statement, we have not mentioned the name of storage class. Actually, when we do not mention the name of storage class, it automatically belongs to auto storage class. What does it mean? It means that all the variables that we have declared till date belongs to automatic storage class, because we have never mentioned the name of storage class. When we do not mention the name of storage class, then that variable belongs to automatic storage class, and that's the reason I told you that the default value of this variable is garbage, and it will occupy memory it will occupy space in memory. Its scope is local and life is till the control remains in the block in which it is declared. So according to this statement, a is a variable. It will occupy 2 bytes because its data type is int. It will occupy 2 bytes. Where? It will occupy 2 bytes in memory as the feature of, because it belongs to automatic storage class, and we know that according to features of automatic storage class, all the variables occupy space in memory, and their scope is local and live is till the control remains in the block in which it is declared. I will explain this automatic storage class in more detail when we will compare this storage class with static storage class. It will be more clear when we will discuss static storage class. So I think it is appropriate for the time being, and as soon as we will move to static storage class, this scope and life of variable will be more clear. Now, second one is storage register storage class. Register storage class. So, what is the keyword? What will be the default value? Where that variable will occupy space? And what is the scope? And what is the life of variable belongs to register storage class. Before writing these things, I would like to write the example. So, as I told you earlier, if you want this variable to belongs to automatic storage class, then we should write auto over here. Means before data type we should write the keyword of that particular storage class. So if we want this variable A belongs to automatic storage class, then we should write auto over here. If we want this A belongs to register storage class, then we just have to write register. So this is the keyword. The keyword for register storage class is register. You can check these in 32 keywords of C. In 32 keywords, one of the keyword is register, another one is auto. So if we want this variable to belongs to register storage class, then we are required to write name keyword of that class, and keyword of register storage class is register. So it is clear from this example that A is a variable of data type int belongs to register storage class. What does it mean? It means its default value is garbage. It will occupy space. How much space it will require? It will require 2 bytes space. So because it belongs to register storage class, it will occupy space in CPU registers. Its scope is local and its life is till the control remains in the block in which variable is declared. Means as soon as we came out of the block, the variable will be dead. It won't exist. It will be erased. Right? So, if we compare automatic storage class variable and register storage class variable, the only difference is the place where that variable will occupy space. Otherwise, rest of the things are same, excluding keyword. Obviously, keyword is different for automatic storage class and different for register storage class. So, all the features are same except the space. According to automatic storage class, variable will occupy space in memory. But according to register storage class, that variable will occupy space in CPU registers. So what is the difference between memory and CPU registers? Actually, this is the first thing we should know. What is the difference between memory and CPU register? So before proceeding to third storage class, I would like to tell you the difference between memory and CPU registers. Means Like as per the perspective of programmer, which variable should we declare belongs to automatic storage class and which variable should we declare belongs to register storage class. We should know that. So before deciding that variable belongs to automatic or register storage class, we must know the difference between memory and CPU registers. As we know that, suppose this is storage unit in which we have two parts, primary memory. Primary memory means memory, RAM, and second part is secondary memory, like hard disk. And this is another part of computer called central processing central processing unit. We know that it has three parts. First part is ALU, where all the arithmetic and logical calculations takes place. Second part is control unit, CU, and third part is CPU registers. So, suppose we have declared a variable int A. As we have not mentioned the keyword of any storage class, it means this variable belongs to automatic storage class. Then where it will occupy space? Obviously it will occupy space in RAM. So A will occupy space here. A will occupy space here. Suppose we want to use this variable A as a loop counter. For example, for A is equal to 1, A is less than equal to 100, A plus plus. In this loop, initial value of A is 1, and after each cycle, the value of A will be incremented by 1. Means initially the value of A is 1, after one cycle it will be incremented to 2, after second cycle it will be incremented to 3, after third cycle it will be incremented to 3, 4, and so on till it reaches the value of 100. So the initially value of A is 1. When the first cycle completes, the value of A will be incremented to 2. Then at which part of the computer is responsible to increase the value of A? Obviously ALU. Then the value of A will move to ALU. ALU will increase its value by 1 and the incremented value will be returned to memory. Now value of A becomes 2. As we know that according to this loop, value of A will be increased 100 times. It means from primary memory means RAM to ALU, it has to repeat this cycle 100 times. Means it means A will move to ALU to increase its value by 1 and then goes back to RAM, and this cycle will be repeated 100 times. Obviously it will take some time. So if this variable belongs to automatic storage class, then this is the case. Let us take another case, second case. Suppose we have specified that variable A will belong to register storage class. Then where it will occupy space? Obviously it will occupy space in CPU registers, not in RAM. In this case, we have not specified name of any storage class. It means A will occupy space in RAM. Or we can also write auto over here. If we write auto, or if we do not write any storage class, automatically this variable will belongs to automatic storage class. But except automatic storage class, for other classes we are required to write the keyword for that storage class. So if we want our variable to belong to register storage class, we should write register over here, as we have written in this statement. So A will occupy 2 bytes of memory. Why 2 bytes? Because its data type is int, and it belongs to register storage class, so it will occupy space in CPU registers. So as per this loop, initial value of A is 1, and this loop has to be in this loop value of A has to be increased till 100, means 100 times. Each time a value of A will be increased by 1. So who will increase the value of A? Obviously ALU. So from here value of A will go to ALU. ALU will increase the value of A by 1 and return the increased value. So who will take less time? Obviously if variable belongs to CPU registers, it will take less time as compared to variable belongs to RAM in terms of calculation. Why? Because ALU and CPU both belongs to ALU and CPU registers both belongs to CPU. Both are in the same unit of computer. So it will take very much less time as compared to this one. So in case if we want, if a programmer, as a programmer, we know that such variable or this variable requires lots of calculations. In that case, we can specify that variable belongs to register storage class. Otherwise, we can specify that variable belongs to automatic storage class or other storage classes as per the requirement. I hope the difference between auto and register storage class is clear, and it is also clear that in which case we must specify storage class as auto, and in which case we must specify storage class as registers. I am repeating again, if as a programmer we know that a variable requires lots of calculations again and again, in that case only we can specify the storage class of that variable as registers, because it saves our time, lots of time, right? Okay, let's move to third storage class, and that is static storage class. Static storage class. As I told you earlier, we must know the values of 4 features: default value, space occupied, scope, and life. And before these features, we must know the keyword for this storage class. So keyword for static storage class variable is static. We should write static before data type of the variable. For example, if we want to declare a variable named A of data type int, and we want it to be, it belongs to static storage class, then we should write a keyword static before data type. So in this case, A is a variable of data type int and belongs to static storage class. So all the features of static storage class will apply on this variable A. So according to static storage class, default value of variable is 0. That is the difference. All the variable belongs to automatic storage class and register storage class have default value garbage, but the variable belongs to static storage class has the default value 0. Do you know what is garbage value? Garbage value is the value that do not have any meaning for us. Means the value which is meaningless for us is called garbage value. So the variable belongs to static storage class as default value 0. It will occupy space in memory, like the variable belongs to automatic storage class as default space occupied in memory. Its scope is local. It's similar to automatic and register storage class. Its scope is also local. Live, but this variable will exist till the program ends. Till the control remains in the program in any block, this variable will exist. Although its scope is local, but its life is till the program ends. When the program execution will complete, then only this variable will be deleted. Otherwise, this variable will exist in the memory. So, to explain scope and life and all these things, I will compare static storage class with automatic storage class. I can also compare static storage class with register storage class, but we know that static and register storage class are almost same. The only difference is the place where variable will occupy space. In automatic storage class, variable will occupy space in memory, but in register storage class, that variable will occupy space in CPU register. This is the only difference. Otherwise, all the features of register storage class and automatic storage classes are same. So, we will compare static, but if we compare static storage class with automatic storage class, we can see many differences, like default value is 0, scope is same, but the life is different. In automatic storage class, what is the life of variable belongs to automatic storage class? The life is till the control remains in the block in which it is declared. This is the life. But in case of static storage class, the life of variable is till the program ends. So, to show these differences, I will write two programs. In both programs are same, but in one program, I will declare a variable that belongs to automatic storage class, but in another program, I will write the same variable belongs to storage class. Then, in the output, we can see the difference. First of all, I am going to write example of automatic storage class, and later on I will write same example, but in this example the variable will belongs to static storage class. So let me write void main. In main function, let me call a function name fun 3 times. I have called this function 3 times. After closing the main block, let us write this function fun. In this function, I have declared a variable int a is equal to 0. I have put its initial value to 0. If we do not put its initial value, then obviously its default value will be garbage. So I don't want to use that garbage value. So to avoid garbage value, I have initialized this variable to 0. Now I will print the value of A so that the output appears in different line. I have used slash n, new line feed operator, %d A. And after printing the value of A, let me increase the value of A by 1. So this is an example of automatic storage class. We will discuss its output after some time. Now I will write the same program in this section also, in static storage class. Same program. Void main fun void fun static int A printf /n %d A plus plus. As we can see in both sections that the example of automatic storage class and static storage class are same. The only difference is the storage class to which this variable belongs. In this example, I have not mentioned keyword of any storage class. So obviously this variable belongs to automatic storage class. In this example, I have mentioned the keyword static. It means A belongs to static storage class. In both the examples, data type of A is int. In both the examples, I have displayed the value of A, and after displaying the value of A, I have incremented the value of A by 1. So let us see what will be the output. What will be the output? So let me explain these examples first. In this example, there are two functions. Name of the first function is main and name of the second function is fun. A program can have many number of functions. We can have any number of functions in a program, but the name of all the functions should be different and name of one function must be main. Why? Because execution of program starts from main and the execution of program ends at main. It means with the first line of this main function, execution of program starts, and with the last line of main function, execution of program ends. So in this example, we have two functions. One of them is main and another one is fun. Obviously, execution of our program will start from main function. So it will move to line 1. In line 1, we have called a function called fun. So from this line, control will jump to fun. In this function, first line is int A equal to 0. Here, space will be occupied in memory. 2 bytes space will be occupied in memory. Why I am saying memory? Because this variable belongs to automatic storage class. So 2 bytes space will be occupied in memory in which 0 will be stored. As I have mentioned in this program, I have initialized A to 0. In this second line, I have displayed the value of A. What is the value of A? Value of A is 0. So 0 will be displayed. In the third line, value of A is increased by 1. So 0 will be replaced by 1. Value of A, because value of A is increased by 1, obviously 0 will become 1. Now, with the closing bracket, we can see fun. This bracket closes. This block ends. So the control returns back to the place from where it jumps. So in this block, the variable a is declared only in this block, in this fun block. So as soon as the control comes out of the block, what will happen to variable a? As we can see in the life of automatic variable, I have written that the variable will be live till the control remains in the block in which it is declared. In which block variable a is declared? Variable a is declared in fun block, in this block only. Till we remain in this block, this variable will live. As soon as we come out of this block, the variable a will be deleted. So in the first line, variable a occupies space in memory and put initial value 0. In the second line, value of a is displayed as output. In the third line, value of a is increased by 1. And after third line, all the statements inside this block execute. So the purpose of this blocks fulfills, and the control returned back to the place from where it jumps. It returns back. So because the control came out of the block from which variable a is declared, what will happen to variable a? This variable a will be erased from memory. This happens in case of automatic storage class. That's what I wanted to show. Now, in main function, first line completed. Now, the control jumps to second line. In second line also, we have called the same function fun. So again, the control will jump to fun. Again, in first line, variable a will be created in memory. It will occupy 2 bytes because its data type is int, and its initial value will be kept to 0 because I have mentioned 0 in the code. In the second line, value of a will be printed. What is the value of a? 0, as you can see in this memory map. In the third line, value of a is increased by 1. Again, its value is increased. 0 becomes 1. So this block ends, the life of variable ends. It will be erased from the memory. Control returns back to the place from where it jumps. Now, third line will be executed. In third line also we have called the same function, fun. So it will jump to fun. Again it will create variable a in memory and puts initial value 0. Again it will display the value of a. What is the value of a? 0. Again it will increase the value of a by 1. A plus plus means increase the value of a by 1. So 0 becomes 1. So with this statement, this block terminates, and as soon as control comes out of this block, this variable will be erased. It returns back to the place from where it jumped in third line. And after executing third line, all the statements in main block are executed and the main block will be completed. And with the completion of main block, program ends. So what is the output of this program? The output of this program is 0, 0, 0. We have same program written over here, but the only difference is we have used static keyword over here, which denotes that variable a belongs to static storage class. I have also not mentioned the initial value of a, just to show what will be the default value of static storage class variable. So let's see the output of this program as well. We have two functions in this program. Number one is main and second one is function. We know that the execution of any program starts from main. So let's start from main. In first line, a function named fun is called. So the control will jump to fun. In the first line, in the first statement of function fun, a variable name A is declared of data type int and belongs to storage class static. Variable of storage class static occupies space in memory. And how much space it will occupy? Obviously 2 bytes, because its data type is int. So it occupies 2 bytes in memory. Like I have mentioned the initial value of A over here in automatic storage class example, but in static storage class example I have not mentioned any initial value. Then in this case default value will be stored in the place where it occupies space in memory. So what is the default value of static storage class variable? I have mentioned earlier, default value is 0. In case of automatic storage class, default value is garbage, but in case of static storage class, default value is 0. In second line, value of A will be displayed. What is the value of A? 0, as can be watched from this memory map. In the third line, value of A is increased by 1. Then what will be the value of A becomes? Value of A will become 1. So with the execution of third statement, all the statements inside fun block will be are executed, and the control returns back to the place from which it jumped. So will this variable deleted from the memory? As we have seen that the control came out of the loop, as I have mentioned in this automatic storage class. I told you earlier that in case if the variable belongs to storage class, it will not be deleted. Till when? Till the program ends. This block ends, not the program. Program will be completed when last statement of main function will be executed. Till then, this variable named A will not be deleted from memory. Understood? This variable will not be deleted. Why? Because it belongs to storage class static, and as per the property of static storage class, a variable will not be deleted until the program ends. So the execution of this block ends, not the program. So this variable will not be deleted. So the control returns back to the place from where it jumped. Now second line will be executed. In second line of main function, we have again called the same function fun. Control again jump to function fun. In its first line, it is supposed to declare a variable named A, but because this variable is already declared, so it won't declare this variable again. This variable is already declared. In second line, value of A will be displayed. What is the value of A? As can be seen in this memory map, variable of A is 1. So 1 will be displayed. In third line, value of A is increased by 1. So value of A will become 2. Value of A will become 2. Now with the completion of last statement of fun function, control returned back to the place from where it jumped. Control will return to this place. But as we can see that program is still executing, so this variable will not be deleted from the memory. Now third line of main function will be executed. In third statement also we have called the same function. Similarly, it will jump to function fun. First statement will not declare variable A again because it is already declared. In the second statement, value of A will be displayed. What is the value of A? 2, as can be seen from the memory map. In the third statement, value of A is increased by 1, so the value of A will become 3. So with the execution of last statement, the control returns back to the place from where it jumped. And with the completion of last statement of main function, program will terminate, program will end. When the program will end, then only this variable will be deleted. memory. So you can see the difference between the output of variable belongs to automatic storage class and the output of variable belongs to static storage class. Both programs are same. The only difference is their storage classes. I hope it clears many of your doubts. So we should move to fourth storage class, and that is external storage class. External storage class is the last storage class that we have to discuss today. So fourth one is external storage class. Keyword for the variable that belongs to external storage class is extend. So we are required to write extend if we want a variable belongs to external storage class. So what is the default value? Where the variable will occupy space. Space occupied, scope and life. Default value of variable belongs to external storage class is 0. Similar to the variable belongs to static storage class. So for automatic and registered storage class, what is the default value? For automatic and registered storage class, default value is garbage. But for static and external storage class, default value is 0. Where it will occupy space? In memory. So all the variable belongs to external storage class will occupy space in memory, that is RAM. So if we compare all the four storage classes, we can see that only the variable belongs to register storage class will occupy space in CPU registers. Otherwise, any variable belongs to all the other three classes occupy space in memory. Its scope is global. This is the difference. Till yet, we have seen that the scope of automatic storage class, register storage class and static storage class variable is local, but the scope of external storage class variable is global. This is the main difference. And to explain this difference, I will write an example after explaining these features. And the life, obviously, because the scope of variable is global, its life is till the program ends. Means the variable will exist till the whole program ends. Example, same as we have written in case of automatic register and static storage class. We just have to write extend int a. In this case, a is a variable of data type int that will occupy 2 bytes in memory. Its default value is 0. Its scope is global and it will exist till the program ends. This is the explanation of this statement. So to make you understand what is the global scope means, you very well know the meaning of this life till the program ends, but to make you clear what is the global scope means, I will write a program specifically for external storage class. You must remember that the variable belongs to external storage class has default value 0. So let me write an example. Int a void main printf I am in main. Fun1, fun2, printf I am back. So in this program I will use three functions. The name of first function is main, and the two user defined functions, the name of first function will be fun1 and second function will be fun2. So after closing the bracket of main function, let me write fun1. Here I have increased the value of a by 1 and then write display its value and then call fun2 from here also. Now I will write another function fun2. Here I will increase the value of variable a by 5, and after increasing the value of a, I will display its value that's it. So in this program we have three functions. Number 1 main, number 2 fun1, and number 3 is fun2. We can have as many functions as we require in our C program, but the name of all the functions must be different, and the name of one such function is main, because execution of any program starts from main and ends with main. As soon as the main function ends, the whole program ends. So what will be the output of this program? That we will discuss, and along with the output, the functionality of external storage class and the meaning of global scope will be clear. You can observe that in this program, variable a is declared outside any block. Means this variable is not declared inside any block. Neither in main block, neither in fun1, neither in fun2. Because this variable is not declared inside any block, it is by default belongs to external storage class. I have not mentioned the name of storage class over here, because this variable is not declared inside any of the blocks. That's why it's by default belongs to external storage class. There is no need to write external over here. You might be confused with automatic storage class variable. I have also told you that if we do not mention the name of any storage class, then that variable belongs to automatic storage class. It holds good only in the case when the variable is declared inside any block. If we declare this variable inside any block, either in main function or this block or this block, and do not mention the name of storage class, then obviously this variable will belongs to automatic storage class. But if the variable is not declared inside any block, it is declared outside all the blocks, then in that case its default storage class will be external. There is no need to write external over here. Okay, so let me remove this external. There might be a question arise in your mind, then in which case we should write external. If you declare this variable inside this block and do not mention the name of storage class, then to which storage class this variable belongs? Obviously this variable will belongs to automatic storage class. But if you want it to belongs to external storage class, in that case you must write external over here. So the difference is the place where you are declaring the variable. If you are declaring the variable inside the block, in that case default storage class is auto. And if you are declaring variable outside the block, in that case default storage class is external. So let me remove this line, it is not required. So we have three functions in this program. Obviously the execution of program will start from main. So first line of main function will be executed. What it will do? It will display I am in main on the output screen. This is displayed. I am in main. So after executing first line, the control move to second line. In second line, we have called the function one. Fun1 is called from this place. So the control will jump from this place to fun1 and will return back to same place after completing the fun1 block. So in fun1, value of a is increased by 1. Where is a? A is declared here. So let's a is this. Because this variable belongs to external storage class, its default value is 0. So in this line, value of a is increased by 1. A plus plus means value of a is increased by 1. So 0 becomes 1. In the second line, value of a is displayed. What is the value of a? 1. What is the global scope means? Global scope means a variable is not declared inside any block, number 1, like as shown in this example. And number 2, this variable can be accessed anywhere. Its scope is global. It can be used, accessed anywhere. So we can use this variable a in main block and also in fun1 block and also in fun2 block or any other block in which we require. We can use anywhere. So value of a is displayed. What is the value of a? 1. 1 is displayed. And after displaying value of a, fun2 function is called. Fun2. The control will jump from here to fun2. So the control jump to fun2. After completing this line only, this block will complete. When we are on this line, it means that the control should means the functionality of this function is not completed yet, because we are on line statement number 3 and statement number 3 is not executed completely till the function 2 will be executed. So the control will jump from this line to fun2. In fun2, value of a is increased by 5. What is the value of a? Value of a is 1. It will be increased to 6. After increasing the value of a by 5, in the next line we have displayed the value of a. Value of a will be displayed as 6. And after executing this line, all the lines inside fun2 are executed. So the functionality of fun2 completes and the control returned to the place from where it came to fun2. From where it came to fun2? It came from this place. So the control returns back to this place. After returning, we have seen that execution of this statement completed, and along with the execution of this statement, execution of fun1 is completed. And after completing fun1, the control returned back. Where? The control will return back to the place from where it came. It came from this place. From this place it jumped to here, and from this place it jumped to here. So after completing, it will return back to the place from where it came. And after completing fun1, it will return back to the place from where it came. So the control will return back to fun1. Now, as we can see that this statement is executed, the control will jump to next statement. In next statement, function name fun2 is called. So the control will jump to fun2. Where is fun2? There. From this place, control will directly jump to this place, fun2. And after executing all the statements inside this function, the control will return back to the place from where it was jumped. So in this function, value of a is increased by 5. What is the value of a? Value of a is 6. Now it will be increased to 11. 6 plus 5, 11. After increasing the value of a will be displayed. Value of a is 11, so 11 will be displayed. After displaying the value of a, the statements inside fun2 functions are completed. Hence, the control will return back to the place from where it jumped. From where it jumped? Here or from here? This time, it jumped from here. So, the control will return back to this place, not this place. This time, it jumped from this place, so it will return back to same place from where it jumped. After execution of this line, next line will be executed. In this line, it is just writing comment, I am back. I am back. And after completing this statement, all the lines inside main function are executed. So as soon as the main function ends, the program ends. And as soon as the program ends, this variable will be deleted. From where? From memory, not from CPU registers. Why? Because all the variables belongs to external storage class will occupy space in memory, not in CPU registers. Okay, so this is the output. So dear students, I hope I am able to explain what are storage classes in C. So if you have any query, you can contact me directly. Thank you. Jai Hind.